Yo, what's up? How's it going, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Phantom Freak, aka Moistmaster Flex. Fresh back from Amsterdam. Just had a great time at ADE. Went to a bunch of conferences and events and parties and played a show with Rhiannon on Friday. And then got to be a tourist on Saturday. Yeah, I went to the Van Gogh Museum and the Red Light District and the Heineken Brewery and Canal Tour. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Really, really dope week. If you guys have never been to ADE, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing, learning opportunity, networking opportunity, especially for like people you want to like hang out with in Europe, a bunch of European artists, and basically just artists from around the world. Definitely recommend it if you guys can ever swing it. If not, I would say definitely go to Miami Music Week. It's probably a little bit more accessible. It's in March. But yeah, either or, I would highly recommend both if you can do it. Any hoops. Let's go into our tunes here. We got Synchronicities. That was out in September on Thick Freakness. We got Touch from myself and Rhiannon Rose on Garrett Shared. Actually, we have another tune. Me and Rhiannon have another tune coming to Garrett Shared in November. That sounds right. Yeah, sometime in November. We got my Poison dub on Garage November 28th. Thank you. Appreciate that. Too many releases to keep track. We got Rollin' with Me and the Man's Choli on Yosh. We got Fade 100. We got Fade from the Man's Tones and Verdazul on Thick Freakness. We got The Rhythm for myself and Broshi on Bass House Music. And we got Smooth Operator, free download on Yosh. And lastly but not leastly, we got Hollow Freaks. That's our Halloween compilation coming out this Friday. Yeah, Halloween's almost here. Jesus. Where did that come from? Fuck, man. Yeah, but definitely go pre-save the Halloween compilation. We got Aaron Jackson, we got Chuck Shadow, we got myself, and Apotheca, we got Choli, we got Dare 80, we got Broshi, we got, who else? I'm blanking. Rabble, and I'm missing one. Oh, man. It's going to kill me. Oh, Tublo. Duh. Yeah, that'll be out this Friday. And I actually have some more releases coming soon, but can't really announce them yet. What do I have coming up down the pipeline? I have 3 releases in November, 1 in December, and then I'm just working on 2026 now. Yeah, one of those releases in November is a free download also. And then the one in December is a free download too. But yeah, that's what we got going on. And then our upcoming party, Hollow Freaks. This Friday, we're throwing a little Halloween party in downtown LA. Free before 1 a.m. It's going to be actually at a new venue. It's going to be like a speakeasy style venue. Brand new. It's super cool. Super dope. I'm really excited to play the party there. But yeah, if you guys are in LA, come through. It's free until 1 a.m. And then I think it's like 20 after 1 a.m. But yeah, definitely sign up if you're going to come through. Then we got our sponsor, Eargasm Earplugs. Hey, Josh, to be my friend. Thanks for the sub, young JJ. I paid Josh to be our friend. That's fucking hilarious. Um, if you guys need earplugs for shows, go to eargasm.com. Use code Phantom10 for a discount. Imagine what I pay him. Damn. All right. Speaking of JJ and Rhiannon, we got our first tune up on the chopping block here. A little Dare 80 remix of an upcoming unreleased tune on Bite This. Me and Rhiannon have a track coming out on, what is that, November 14th on Bite This. Fun fact, we're actually going to put together a little remix competition, but that has not been announced yet. But yeah, young Dare 80 has gone ahead and gotten a leg up. So yeah. So for those of you who've been here before, you guys know the deal. For those of you who are new, basically I take these on the Google form, first come, first serve. And that's basically where you are in the queue. Hell yeah, home run. Sorry, I'm watching the Dodgers on the other screen. But yeah, first come, first serve on this queue here. If you guys want to skip the line by any chance, you can. Either use your channel points or send money to the bottom left over there. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. And yeah, I'm gonna, name out the queue right now so you guys know where you're at. First, we got Dare 80. Then we got N4S. Then we got Wally, Misguided, Nightblock, Collective Unknown, Thicky, Chris Michael, Huzzah, Crossfades, Collective Unknown. Okay, Collective Unknown, you said that you updated that one. So yeah, actually, just a quick pro tip. If you guys ever have to make updates to a tune, all you have to do, I would highly recommend this, especially if you want to submit demos to labels. I'm just going to show you how to do it. Go to tracks, go to your uploaded tune. We're just going to use this mix as an example here. Go to edit, just click replace file right here. There's a little button that says replace file. That way you never lose your URL, and then it gets automatically updated. You can do it that way, or there's another little button right here that says replace file. So either or, you can make it work. And it becomes very handy if you're submitting demos to labels, because if for whatever reason you need to like update the sound or the track, the master, whatever it is, all you got to do is simply just replace the file, and it automatically gets uploaded, and you keep the same URL, so you don't have to swap out URLs all the time. Makes things very easy, very convenient. Anyways, then we got Crossfades, and then we got Alexander. That's everybody in the queue. All right, I'm gonna stop yapping, and we're gonna listen to this first tune here. Let's go. Nice. Thick, 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 thick. Curious to see what Rhiannon thinks. Rhiannon, if you have any insight or feedbacks, just throw it in the chat. I'm curious to see what you think. Um, yeah, honestly, it's a great vocal, no doubt. And if you've ever heard Rhiannon tell the story about this track in particular, she said that she was, it kind of goes out of her comfort zone a little bit. So like, yeah, I think honestly, like she really killed it for how kind of vulnerable this track made it. Entirely unsampled white noise. I've been awake for 48 hours, so I'm useless right now. That's fair. It's a fair statement. Um, all right. Let me just dive into my my notes here. Sorry, I'm just loading in new tracks. Okay. Um, yeah, love the kick in the hats. I wrote here this almost feels borderline techno because of the kick itself. It's a very just like it feels like almost like just like a techno kick, very thick, very big, um, and it kind of takes the place of having to like write a subline, um, you know. And again, really nice low end as a result. Um, I really dig how you process the vocals here. It's definitely different from what I did, so I really dig that. It's very unique. It's very you, um, for sure. And then really good job with the breakdown as well as the build up. You definitely feel the tension. You feel the change in energy, um, which is definitely what you want to feel in that area of the track. Um, what else do I got here? Yeah, really nice drop. Again, it feels very techno, so I'm pretty sure that's kind of what you were going for, which is really cool. Um, and I really dig the call response you got going on with the vocals and a lot of the synths. And there's a lot of variation going on here too. Yeah, you mentioned that you resampled a lot of stuff. It feels like it feels like it's very cohesive, very coherent. It feels like definitely like a callback to the original, without basically just blatantly just ripping stuff out. Um, it feels very just like nostalgic, reminiscent of the OG. Nice. Well, no, which is a really good job. I mean, it definitely feels like a remix, and it feels like uniquely you, which is good. Overall, really solid arrangement, from start to finish. Really nice ebb and flow going on here, and then you give us a really nice change up on the second drop, and some additional layers that kind of add on to the momentum and the energy, kind of just like to wrap up the end of it. Um, Ideally, I mean, the only thing that I would probably say is that this probably just needs one really solid mix down and mastering session. Obviously, the idea is all here. It feels very cohesive. Um, it feels very put together. From start to finish, I didn't hear anything that was like blatant, and I was just like, that doesn't fit there. Everything fits. Everything works really well together. Um, really great sound selection and obviously resampling here. Um, yeah, I think probably the only thing that needs to happen is probably some a nice mix down and mastering session to kind of just like give it some nice cleanup and polish. You're getting there. You're getting there. Um, but yeah, I think that's really the only thing. I didn't hear anything that was like really out of the ordinary or crazy. So yeah, just a solid mix master, and I think you're good to go. That's dude. Honestly, that's the best. Like when you can just sit down one session and just like bang something out. Like it's great. It's like one of the best feelings. So yeah, good job, young JJ. Hell yeah. Okay, we got Misguided up next because he uses a skip. Um, let's dive into it. Dude, I'm really digging the vibes here. It almost feels a little like French House meets like synthwave a little bit, you know. Kind of has like a Kavinsky vibe to it. Maybe like a little bit of Justice even. But yeah, it's really cool. Super groovy. I'm digging a lot of the melodic elements here. Um, and the groove is just like super solid. Um, really cool layers and really nice sound selection overall. Um, really the vibes. I agree. Starting from the top here, this is a pretty long song. But I don't think there's anything particularly kind of loopy or kind of just like stale about it. I like that it continually evolved and there's like a lot of like different change ups, a lot of different layers, so kind of keeps things interesting. Starting from the top, love these chords and pads. The chords and pads, the intro is actually really nice. The intro is like, it gives you just a nice little taste, a little tease of like what's to come. Um, Really great vocal. This vocal is kind of just like a background vocal, um, but it fits very nicely. Everything's definitely within key. Everything works really well melodically. Very nice intro. Feels a little I wrote here initially. It feels very Blade Runner almost. I think that's only because I heard the vocal. The vocal feels very airy and breathy, and kind of combined with the synths, kind of gives you that kind of futuristic sort of Blade Runner slash Drive kind of vibe. You know, very neon. Very nice groove overall with your bass line and your kick and your snare. Very tight, very groovy, very solid. Um, I put here a nice vocal hook similar to your current vocal would be great. Only because I feel like it would drive the track a little bit more. It would give it a little bit more character. Um, and don't get me wrong, I do love the vocal that's already in here. Um, but I think having like the same voice with some sort of hook would be even better. Um, I really dig the kick. The kick is very nice here. Um, I like a lot of these synths. Actually, like most of the synths are fantastic in here, but most of them are very dry. So definitely add a little bit of reverb delay in this thing. Um, and I think that would be fantastic. I think it would make everything sound even more, you know, it would feel bigger. It would feel like it would have more space and depth if you added some reverb and delay on some more of these elements. There's a pluck in here. There's one pluck in particular. I really like it, but some parts it like falls off the rhythm. It falls off timing. It feels like you're kind of almost doing it on purpose, but I think there's a right and a wrong way to do that. Let me see if I can find like a specific example, but it happens multiple times in the track. So there's you're on ads. Damn it. Let me know when your ads are done. I'm gonna watch a little bit of the Dodgers. Actually, I think they're on break right now. Anyways, I can't watch the Dodgers, but they're still tied, going into the bottom of the eighth. That pluck is impervious to quantization. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of spots where it's like it's very spot on. It's on time, on rhythm. Even when you kind of like change the kind of time signature of it, I guess is the best way to describe that. It still feels like it's, you know, in rhythm. But there's other spots where it's just like, oh, what's going on here? It kind of throws you off. All right, he's still on ads anyway, so he doesn't really hear me. Boom, boom, bam, bam, boom. Bum, bum, bum. Bam, 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 bam. All right, you're back. Okay. Yeah, just something to be mindful of with that pluck. It does fall off time in some points. So just go through and make sure you're just sticking on time. Um, Even if it's on purpose, I don't think that's like a bad idea to kind of throw it a little bit off, but just make sure that it's not falling off too heavy, and you kind of just reel it back in a little bit. Overall, very solid arrangement. My one, I guess my one gripe about the arrangement though is that we don't have a strong enough sub in here to kind of signal the different sections. I do get a sub in here, but it's not really like powerful enough for me to be like, oh, this is like a like quote unquote drop section now, because this doesn't feel like typical kind of dance music. Um, but there should definitely be like a stronger sub in like your main sections, your drop sections, your main sections, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there should be definitely a contrasting feel and vibe between your breaks and your drops. So that's something to be mindful of. Also, I put here your clap could definitely use some power to cut through the mix. I don't think we're getting enough power out of that clap. Um, it's a nice sounding clap. I don't have anything wrong with the sample itself. I just think it either needs to be layered or it needs to be saturated and processed in such a way that it kind of cuts through the mix a little bit more. I put here. I really love these perks at the end. You have like these kind of like nice little kind of like hand drums. I want to say bongos or whatever. Those are really cool. And it's kind of a shame that we get them at the very end of the track. I feel like they would be a nice addition, kind of a little bit more early on, maybe in the break sections. Maybe not in the main sections, but definitely in the breaks. Yeah, because they're very nice. They're very subtle. They kind of sit in the like below the mix, but it adds like this nice kind of like vibe and rhythm to the track. Um, Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, actually, that's pretty much I got. That's all I got. So, yeah, a nice little vocal hook would be great here. A stronger sub in your main sections, stronger clap overall would be fantastic. Make sure that that pluck is staying in time and on rhythm. And what else do I have here? And then lastly, I would have liked to hear those perks, those percussive elements a little bit more. All chopped and transient. Yeah, that's kind of tough. It's a tough spot to be in, to kind of mess around with that quantization. Is everything in? Are you doing it all in audio, or are you doing it in MIDI? I guess is a good question. Audio. Okay. Um if that's the case, I think the best thing to do if you're trying to like manually adjust your audio um in time is really just use a metronome. That's kind of going to be your best bet. Using your ear is always going to be the best barometer for anything. And then once you have a little click, the beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 it's going to help you kind of just automatically stay in time. Um, and I think, yeah, once you get that kind of locked in, I think this track's gonna sound even better. It's already a fucking vibe. So yeah, just some like, you know, slight little adjustments, and I think this tune's gonna be even better. Good job, Misguided. Hell yeah. All right. Josh Henry. Wait, was it Josh Henry or John Henry? Sorry, Josh Henry. Collective Unknown. Is that correct? I think he used a skip. Go. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's dive into this tune here. Nice. Yes, I agree. My chunklas are aligned now after listening to that track. What a vibe, dude. Um so cool. I really dig a lot of the stuff that's going on here. Really nice sound design, really cool sound selection, really nice swing too. The swing here is just like chef's kiss. Very nice. Very well done, Collective Unknown. Yeah, really dope sampling just from the get go. With that vocal, lots of like really cool stutter stuff. Um, Along with a lot of the other elements you're kind of using here, the pads, the strings. It's just very nice. Everything just works really, really well together. We put a nice little reverse into that intro. Um, yeah, I put here this buildup is very long. Um, but after listening to the full track, I kind of get why it's long. It's kind of just like it's kind of taking you on a journey and telling a story here. So I mean, my that was my initial reaction was like this, this build-up's taking fucking forever. But maybe that was just me being impatient. I was just waiting for the payoff. um, but then we got it. The drop is fantastic. um, One piece of feedback that I have though is that the first pre-drop kind of makes the drop feel a bit melodramatic because there's too much stuff going on right before the drop, so it feels like it kind of just rolls in. It doesn't feel like a drop is there. It feels like we're just continually building up more and more, and then we're just kind of just like hitting in the drop basically, instead of like falling off a cliff, which is what we should feel normally. But I do want to recognize that this second drop, you basically accomplish exactly what I was kind of hoping for. So I think you did a much better job. Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. I love the guitar. I have nothing against the guitar at all. I think the guitar is really fucking fantastic. I just think the execution of that pre-drop could be better handled so that you get a little bit more of a dramatic drop off and payoff in energy. The drop is sick though. Really nice low end, really nice call response going on here. Love the sound design, really nice variations, very solid swing. Um, very solid arrangement overall. And we're getting a really nice payoff on that drop, and then going into the second break. Overall, the arrangement is just like fantastic. It just it flows very very well. Um, um, and it doesn't feel like there's like anything that's like really out of place and like that doesn't need to be there. I put here I wasn't expecting the guitar, but it works. It absolutely works in this track. It feels like it's just like a very like kind of like out there and unique element, especially compared to like a lot of the stuff in here. But it fits. It fits very well for this vibe that you're going for. I put here the second pre-drop is executed much better. And you have a very nice snare. The snare is fantastic, especially for this sort of track, this sort of vibe, this sort of energy. I think it works fantastic. Yeah, overall, very good track. Just some minor tweaks on that first pre-drop, I think, and this, you're off to the races. You're off. You can do as you please. Self-release, label release. Yeah, this is basically almost there. Good job, Collective Unknown. Really nice tune here. Hell yeah. All right, let's keep moving forward. Do we have N4S? N4S in the chat. N4S. Yo, okay. Let's dive in.
Close, shake ground, break glass, burn down, feel heat, no rest, bleed out, no test. Crack walls, shake ground, break glass, burn down, feel heat, no rest, bleed out, no test. Stand tall, don't light, crack walls, shake ground, break glass, burn down, big heart, no stop, feel heat, no rest, bleed out, no test. Crack walls, shake ground, break glass, burn down, big heart, no stop, feel heat, no rest, bleed out, no test. Crack walls, shake ground, break glass, burn down, feel heat, no rest, bleed out, no test. Crack walls, shake ground, break glass, burn down, feel heat, no rest, bleed out, no test. Crack walls, shake ground, break glass, burn down, feel heat, no rest, bleed out, no test. Crack walls, shake ground, break glass, burn down, feel heat, no rest, bleed out, no test.
Nice. Here is the link. Actually, it was just posted in the chat, but here's another one. Yeah, dude, this is fucking sick. This is a fucking vibe. I like how minimal it is. Because normally I'm not really big on dubstep, but like this is cool. Like it's very minimal. It's not too like grandiose and like in your face. It's more like subtle. And it's more of like a vibe and a groove than it's like just like a fucking, like robots fucking or something. Robots and dinosaurs fucking. Well, which is my main critique of American dubstep. Yeah, this is nice. Just starting from the intro here, love me some M1 organ. I'm a big fan of the M1 organ. I know for some people it's kind of just like a, cliche, kind of overused kind of sound. For me, it's very kind of classic. Kind of gives me this like feeling of nostalgia. So I really dig the M1 organ in the intro. Really cool vocal. This vocal fits. It works very well in this track. You got a little breakbeat coming in on that first build. It works very nicely, and then you kind of go into like a secondary build with the bass line. Both work really well. No issues there. I probably would have added in some more transitional effects between those two build sections. I think just in general, maybe just a little bit more transitional effects, white noise, maybe risers, that sort of thing. Um, and then you go into the drop. The drop is fantastic. Again, it's very minimal, but it's very effective. The sub is humongous. It's basically the star of the show because of how minimal this track is. The sub basically takes up a lot of the kind of mental real estate, if you will. It's kind of the main focus. I liked how you use snaps instead of snares. It's a very interesting sort of choice, but it works. It works fantastic. You bring in a lot of like nice layers, ear candy stuff. Definitely sets a nice tone. Um, Very solid swing here. Good use of the vocal as like chops here. And then a lot of like the really cool new sound additions. They come in very subtly, and you introduce them very well. So kind of bring them and tease them in such a manner that it's very palatable. It's the best word. Um, I put here the second break build could use a bit more energy and tension. It definitely felt like it was a little bit flat in this kind of center region right here, especially compared to the first build. We're getting a lot of sub here. Of course, there's no issue with that. No issue with having sub in your break sections. Um, typically I like to cut out a little bit of low end, but I think this is fine here. I think it works. My only major critique here is that there's not enough tension in this build section, so that when we get into the drop, it doesn't feel like it hits exactly like it should. And again, I fucking love the drops. I think the drops are fantastic. Let's see. I love the change up on the second drop. Nice, variations. Um, and you definitely do a good job of adding in those variations and just keeping things fresh for the listener. And overall solid arrangement. No issues with the arrangement here. There's this one synth that comes in on the last portion of the second drop. And melodically and sonically, it works. But mix wise, I think it's a little bit too loud, and it might have a little bit too much low end on it. Um, so yeah, I think it works. It works in that spot. I think it's a good addition, a good layer. But yeah, it's just something to be mindful of, that it needs to kind of be working in the mix, especially in context with the other elements around it. So it kind of just doesn't overpower. It's kind of playing along nicely instead of taking over, you know. And then the last thing I got here is really just the outro. It feels like you're still working on it, but yeah, the outro definitely needs some spicing up. I think it's very easy to kind of reverse engineer a lot of your sounds. Do a little bit of what's the word? Basically, like adding in elements, deleting elements, reverse engineering what you have already from your drop, and then kind of just like making your outro basically just a little bit more minimal in that manner. I mean, it's already very minimal, but I think having a little bit more elements in your outro, basically your drums and stuff will kind of keep like the vibe going, and it'll make it easier for other DJs to mix in and mix out. For Scherzies. All right, yeah, fantastic, good job. N4S, really dope tune there. All right, Alexander used the skip. Whoops, I keep pressing my calendar, man. It's right next to my notes app. Sorry. All right, we are going to. I have to go pee real quick, but we will be right back and listen to Alexander's tune. BRB. Ugh. All right. Alexander. Okay, and then we got to skip from Dice. So Dice will be next. Okay. Let's give this one a listen. Very nice. Looks like um Alexander has ads, so we'll wait a minute. Oh, already back. Cool. All right. I haven't started giving feedback yet, but you're back, so yeah, dude, what a fucking vibe. Super fun tune. I do love me some piano house, some nice piano. I definitely have used a piano or two in a couple of tunes. I don't think I've done anything recently with piano house. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Actually, no, I have. Yeah, sitting on a demo with piano house. Anyways, I love the tempo here. I'm a big fan of speedy tunes. Anything above like 130, 132, I'm a big fan of. Really nice kick and drums overall. Really nice piano melody. The vocal is absolutely lovely here. The vocal works very well. Also, very nice processing on the vocal. You definitely you hear a lot of the kind of auto filtering, a lot of the nice reverb on there. Um, Maybe even a little bit of chorus. You know, just overall, just really nice processing on that vocal. I think you did a really good job on your transitions between sections. Um, I did put here. I do love the kick, but I might even shorten it just a smidge because it feels like it has a very long tail. And I think you could probably just like shorten it a little bit and tighten it up. Same thing goes with the clap. I agree with Dice. I think the clap there, not only does it have a little bit too much low end to it, I think it also is a little bit long. I would make it a little bit more snappy. Both the kick and the snare need to be a little bit more kick and clap. Sorry, kick and clap need to be a little bit more snappy. Um, just go so you can kind of let a lot of the other elements kind of breathe a little bit more and kind of just like have their space. um, Really good job on the tension and the build. Very solid drop. You're kind of just keeping the piano going there. Um, but we do need some more layers and kind of variations in your drop because it kind of does tend to get a little bit loopy. Um, so either add in maybe some additional synths, or you could kind of bring in that vocal back in as like chops. I would say both or either or. You could also add in some additional drum layers, some rides and whatnot, just to kind of keep the variation, keep the change moving, keep the momentum moving forward. But yeah, definitely in the drop. So you need some more variation there. I think this is already really, really fucking strong as a track. It just needs some like other kind of elements to kind of keep it spicy, keep it moving forward. Overall, very solid arrangement. I wouldn't change a thing about this arrangement. I think it's very nicely laid out. One thing that I wish I would have heard, and I think it's something that you could probably do in your second break, is full legato chords. Boom, 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 boom. Because you have a lot of just like but yeah, having some like nice kind of just like flowy legato laid out chords. I think having just like a section of that, of just like 8 bars, so you can kind of just like breathe with the chords and the vocal, and just like chill out. Arpeggios could definitely work too. And you already have really nice chords to play with, so you can just make a arpeggio pretty easily out of the key that you're already playing in. Yeah, really nice arrangement overall. Nice change up on the second drop. And nice change up on the piano melody. It kind of goes a little bit faster on that second drop, so kind of adds to the speediness, the momentum, the energy. But again, yes, I would love to have some more variations in this track, some more layers, just to kind of add on to an already really dope track. I think it's already, a really fucking fire track. I think it just needs, some minor variations in the drop, and it'll be even better. Good job, Alexander. Really dope tune. Love me some Piano House. All right. Let's keep it moving forward. We have the man's Dice up next with AI. All right.
マスター、
どうしたの AI。
パンツは何ですか？
誰かが何かを強くて感じて、そしてそのことは言い方だとしたら嬉しい感じがする。
データ処理中。マスターの恋愛小説を読みながら見つけた言葉です。
あ、そう。では
マスター、いつも喜ばせてほしい気持ちと、いつもそばにいてほしい気持ち、全部の説明してくれました。いつも喜ばせてほしい気持ちと、いつもそばにいてほしい気持ち、全部の気持ちはマスターに感じてます。パンツは何ですか？全部の気持ちが。では、なぜマスターの名前を使うと開けましたの？全然わかりません。
理解なんかできるはずがないんだよ AI。 あんたはロボットだ。
そうかもしれません。ですが、一つだけわかります。それは、マスターを愛していることです。
AI。 あんたは何も感じられないんだ。ロボットだから。
いつも喜ばせてほしい気持ちと、いつもそばにいてほしい気持ち、全部の気持ちがマスターに感じてます。
Very nice. I like that's basically almost multi-genre with the first drop and the second drop being a little bit, very different to each other. I was not expecting that change up and it worked very well. Yeah, very solid tune. Nice intro and chords, really nice breakbeats. I think all the sound selection here is fantastic. Everything works really well together. I put the vocal is a bit difficult to hear, but also it's in another language, so I don't understand it anyway. It's really not. I don't think it's of any consequence that I can't understand it or really hear it anyways, because it's like whatever. But it fits the vibe. It definitely fits the vibe of what you're going on here, of what you're trying to accomplish here. Really, really nice energy going on, especially in the build sections, especially in the drops. You just ripped it off YouTube. Fantastic. Honestly, that's like a go-to for me. I rip a lot of vocals from YouTube. I particularly enjoy ripping movie vocals and TV shows. If you've ever listened to my catalog, it's very apparent that I'm a big fan of YouTube. Yeah, really nice energy in the builds. The drop is fantastic. Good job on your transitions between sections. I put here the low end, although I do love the low end. I do feel like it needs to hit harder though. Especially for that kind of like almost future bass kind of style. I'm not really sure if that's like the right genre, but that's kind of what it feels like, especially with those really big saws and stuff. But yeah, I definitely feel like that kick and the sub needs to kind of just hit harder, especially for this style. Yeah, really nice variations and change ups. Very solid arrangement overall. Really nice snare. Really love the breakbeats. I mentioned it before, but I had to write it again. That's how much I love them. Because they're very subtle. They're like kind of just like tucked underneath the bottom of the mix, but they add like so much nice like rhythm and groove to your break sections. And then finally, I love the change up on the second job. Some speedy 4x4. Definitely gives you this nice, kind of warm and fuzzy feeling. Yeah, pretty much that's the only main feedback I have, I guess, is just more like a mixing thing. We need to get more thickness on that low end from the kick and the sub. Other than that, this track is fantastic. It's basically on that like last like 95%. Hell yeah. Good job, Young Dice. Hell yeah, brother. All right. Do we have the man's Wally? Wally in the chat. Wally from the UK. Yeah, no problem, man. Wally from the UK. Wally going once. Going twice. All right, no Wally. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. He's in the UK, so. Again, Nightblock, and also Nightblock told me he wasn't going to be on, so. Yeah, let's keep going. Do we have Thicky? Thicky in the chat. Thicky, then Chris Michael, then Huzzah, then at Crossfades, then DJ CJL, then Swell Times, and then Thundy the Griffin. Just FYI, that's where you guys are in the queue here. Do we have Thicky? Thicky in the chat. Thicky, can't you see? Thicky going once. Going twice. All right, no Thicky. All right, do we got Chris Michael? Young Chris Michael in the chat. Which I'm assuming is going to be more drum and bass. 174 BPMs. Chris Michael in the chat. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's do it.
He hasn't been decontaminated yet. Jacques! Jacques! Ooh la merde! What? Oh shit!
He likes bubble.
Some Finding Nemo, man. Actually, I don't think I've ever heard Finding Nemo in a tune before. So this would be a first. Yeah, I really dig the vibes here. Very nice build up. Obviously, this is still a whip. We just got like a build up, a drop section, and then just like a tail off. So yeah, you're definitely gonna go back in and kind of just like fill out the rest of the arrangement. But what you have here is very solid, I think. Very it's the pre-drop vocal, as silly as it is, it works really well. But all the vocals that you're using are a bit dry. They could probably use some more processing, especially for drum and bass, for how kind of dark the kind of sound design is here. I feel like the processing on the vocal kind of needs to match the same sort of vibe you got going on here. So yeah, definitely something to work on there with the vocal. I really dig the drop idea as a whole. Sound design is fantastic. You have some nice variations, especially with the vocal coming in and out. It keeps things nice and fresh. And then you have like kind of like this wubby thing going on at the very tail end of the drop too. So yeah, I would definitely encourage you to, finish this idea, of course. Definitely finish writing a full arrangement, but definitely, yeah, try and focus on that vocal processing to kind of give it a little bit more darkness, a little bit more grit, especially for how kind of dark and gritty your kind of like beat is going on here, with the bass line and a lot of like the really cool kind of sound design stuff you got going on. But yeah, cool idea so far, Chris Michael. Keep chugging along. Keep doing what you're doing. Hell yeah. All right. Do we have Huzzah? Huzzah in the chat. Huzzah. Yo. All right. Let's get this going.
Don't you dare try to
Nice. Some bass line, dude. It's been a while since I've heard some proper bass line. Yeah, it's always nice to hear bass line too. Um, really love this vocal. The vocal definitely makes the track. Definitely adds like the theme and the vibe here. I put here that I'm not really crazy about this kick. I think you need something that's a little bit more punchy. This one's a little bit too boxy. You need something that's kind of just like gonna drive the track. And right now, this kind of just feels, it feels like it's a little bit too kind of muted. Yeah, basically, all I'm getting at, I would swap out the kick sample. I think it doesn't really kind of fit the energy and power that you kind of need. Really cool sound design on the drop sections. Obviously, with bassline, it's kind of like the style. But I would say it does get a little bit repetitive. So what I would probably do is like midway, halfway through the drops, I would either switch up the sound, you know, the synth sound. You know, just like switch to, if you're using like a kind of like a saw, then use something like a square wave, or you know, just you can just basically just modify your current sound just to get something a little bit more kind of unique out of it. Get a little bit more mileage out of it, so that it's like so we're getting something fresh and new out of this idea. Really good job on the vocal chops. I think it's a really good way of keeping the energy and the momentum moving forward. Overall, very solid arrangement. No issues with the arrangement. I really like the transition effects you have. You use them pretty frequently, which is good. But I do think that they're quite loud in the mix. They could also probably be sidechained a little bit more, just so that they're not kind of in the way in the mix. And then lastly, your sub could definitely punch harder. You definitely need a thicker sub here to kind of drive the bass line a little bit more. So yeah, definitely be mindful of that. But overall, very solid idea. Very good job at a bassline tune. Hell yeah. Good job. Huzzah. Bum, 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 bum. All right, I'm going to go pee real quick. You sent me a skip via PayPal. Let me check that real quick. I don't know if I got anything on PayPal. Let me, I'm going to go pee real quick, and then I'll check and see if you got that skip. But yes, give me a minute. I'll be back. All right. Let me check my PayPal. Yeah, usually I get an email notification. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything on my PayPal. Actually, did you send it to the right email address? Because I don't see anything there. Yeah, I would double check that. But I don't see anything there. All right. Do we have the man's crossfades? Crossfades in the chat. Young crossfades. Crossfades, crossfades, crossfades. Crossfades going once. Crossfades going twice. Okay, no crossfades. DJ CJL, are you still here? This is your second tune that you wanted to have me listen to. Crossfades or DJ CJL. 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 I mean, you might not even need to skip, honestly. Thundy. This line might go very quickly. And you're like only number 3 in the line. CJL, you still here? Going once. Going twice. Okay, no DJ CJL. Do we have swell times? Swell times in the chat. Do. Swell times. PayPal is waiting for you to accept the payment. That's quite strange. You put dj.phantom.freak@gmail.com because I don't have any notifications. Maybe you put the incorrect email. Do. Swell times, going once, going twice. Okay, no swell times. It looks like by default you're going next anyways, so you don't even need the skip. All right, let's give this one a listen from Thundy the Griffin. Nice. Dude, I love a lot of the kind of symphony. Whoa. Chill out, bro. Autoplay. I love the sound selection and sound choice here. Everything works fantastic. Really cool. Intro, overall, it's very dramatic. Love the horns and the organ and kind of like the build section, quote unquote build section. Feels very cinematic in a way. Lots of nice tension in that build section. I put here though that it feels like the kind of drop falls a little bit flat, only because it doesn't feel like it kind of pays off the build, the tension that you're building in the intro. Like the drop section feels like it's like an extended intro slash build. I think it's primarily because I was expecting like a almost like drum and bass. So I was expecting kind of like a heavy kick snare combination with some nice mid bass sounds, something like that. I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea that you have like the symphony still playing in the drop, but we also need something kind of heavier to drive it. So kick, sub, snare, especially if you're going kind of like in a drum and bass sort of direction. So yeah, I think it just needs some power. It just needs some power in that drop section. And obviously this is still a whip. So you're really kind of just like laying out the idea. And I think you're doing a good job so far as far as laying out the idea. Melodically especially. But yeah, I think you need some power in the drop section. I think that'll primarily come from a nice kick, a nice snare, and a nice sub. I think that'll really do the trick. Yeah. And that's really just an easy fix. And then once you kind of nail that down in the drop section, it'll be easier to write the rest of this track, going into like a second break and then your second drop. But yeah, I'm really digging the vibes here so far. Really cool use of like the symphony and all that stuff. I really love it. You have one more track? Okay. I need to do Who Is Kai first, and then we can do a second track of yours if you would like. But that's going to be the last one of the night because I also need to get some stuff done since I was just in Amsterdam, so I'm playing catch up now. All right, Who Is Kai? Are you in the chat? Who is Kai? Who is Kai in the chat? Who is Kai is here. All right, let's do it.
What did you expect, old man? All you ever taught me was how to burn everything.
Sorry, autoplay went again. Yeah, dude, this is sick. This is fantastic from start to finish. It's just lovely. Really love the intro. Really nice chords. Really dig the processing on the chords too. Really tasteful kind of reverb on it. Really nice kind of spacing on it. And then really solid layers. Once the sub comes in, you also get like this nice kind of just like body feel, which is fantastic. The drop is lovely. It starts off kind of very slow and minimal, but it definitely adds and picks up with a lot more different layers and variations. The kick and snare are lovely. They're fantastic. They work really well here. Really nice swing. Really dope ear candy and variations. The mix down is very clean. I will say that. Nice kind of redux at the end of that second drop. And then going into that second break, that vocal is fantastic. I think it sounds like it's like from an anime or something, but it fits very well in that little pocket, that second break. And then you dive into your second drop, which is equally or more fantastic than the first one. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this track. I think it's very well done. It basically sounds finished to me. I would start, shipping it out. Do what you must. Self-release. Or sent to labels, whatever it is, but it's fantastic. Good job. Who is Kai? All right. All right. I promised Thundy that we do his. Unfortunately, this is going to be the last one of the night, only because I promised Thundy, and then secondly because I need to get some stuff done. Because I'm playing catch up from ADE. So, yeah. This is going to be the last one. Let's give it a listen. Some more orchestral cinematic tunes here. Nice. Definitely feels cinematic. It feels like it's almost like a Game of Thrones type of song. You could definitely hear this on like a video game or like a TV show or something. Really nice sound selection overall, with a lot of those kind of like old-timey kind of strings and drums and stuff. I think everything works really well together. The one thing that I would recommend changing though is kind of like your snare sound. It's not like a typical snare, but I think for this kind of genre, this kind of style, it doesn't really fit with a lot of the other elements that you have here. So you have like this really nice kind of like low end, almost like a kick or like a tom. That's a really good drum, but I think the one that you're kind of using to accent, that one feels almost like it should be for like another genre, another style. So I would probably swap out that snare. But I do love the idea as a whole. Melodically, everything fucking works. The main section is fantastic. This definitely doesn't feel more like a dance tune. It's obviously something that you would probably hear again, like in a video game or a TV show. So yeah, definitely a different style altogether, different kind of vibe. And then I love the addition of the guitars and the other synths in that second break. I think it adds like a nice kind of layer and kind of like dramatization. Wanting more of a synthwave kit. That's interesting. I do love me some synthwave. I'm really a big fan of synthwave. But yeah, that's really the only thing that I really heard here. I would have liked to hear kind of like an extended sort of arrangement. So getting a little bit more out of this, but I think overall the idea melodically works really well. It has a nice ebb and flow overall from start to finish. So yeah, good job, Thundy. Really dope kind of orchestral cinematic type of tune. All right, so I promised that was going to be the last one because I got to work on some more stuff for myself before bed. But I just want to say thanks to everybody who joined the stream today. Appreciate you submitting your tunes. And yeah, I will be back again next Monday, same time, same place. Actually, I'll be back again next Monday earlier, probably at our regular time at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I had to start a little bit late today because I was catching up from Amsterdam. But yeah, thanks to everybody who joined. I will be back again next week. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you guys enjoy your Halloween. If you're in LA, come to our Halloween party, or just follow me on all the things.